been asked to produce something on complex shapes, functional skills. I did a quick search on the net and I found this, which I thought was quite interesting to look at. They've been a bit naughty here because they've not said whether that is true vertical height from the base or whether it is the length along a slope. If it's a length along the slope, that could make things difficult about lining up the top to the bottom, so we're going to assume that is vertical height. So problems with this type of thing is visualizing what we've got. So we're going to be taking a look at this thing here. It's totally free, you can download it and play with it. It's very difficult to use. Very difficult to use. Let's get rid of that. And we have a cube. Let's increase its size. Now again, let's take a quick look at the diagram. That length is longer than that length there. So we need to reduce that length, which I'm going to take as being that one. So we need to scale in on, this is the x-axis, so we can scale x-axis and in it goes. Right, it won't be exactly to scale to the dimensions, but you can see the way that it is. That length there is shorter than that length there, which matches this. That is shorter than that. Not a lot. My scale's a bit out. Now they're a bit naughty. Oh, they use feet. That surprised me. Bit naughty in that it's hard to see if that is actually a vertical height in comparison to the base or whether it is a slope. Let's assume that's a vertical height. They're a bit naughty, they should state that. You know, it's not totally clear. If I go to here, you know, this bit here is vertical as it stands at the moment. Nope. It gets a bit confusing sometimes. That is 5. That is 10. So this edge needs to come this way, about half the length of that. So what we need to do is that edge there needs to come to somewhere around about here. So let's do that. Shift to edit mode and select edges, and I select that edge. That's the y-axis, so I grab on the y-axis and I move it in about halfway, which is somewhere around about there. Okay, so we have now moved that edge to a sort of right position. 4 feet, that's half the width of that there. So let's go back to here. I'm not happy about that. Let's make that a bit wider, shall we? Let's make that a bit wider. And yeah. Oh, go into object mode, of course. Hang on. Object mode. Scale on the x-axis. Make it slightly wider. That's a bit better. So we've got that shape there. And this length is still less than that. Now we know, looking at the diagram, that has got to be about half of that. Let's look at the diagram. Where's the diagram? That is 4 feet, 4 feet. That is 8 feet. So this here is approximately half of that. So let's make it look like that, shall we? So we want, come on, turn and Q. Yeah, we've got to be careful here. Edit mode. Go into the lines part there, shift. So I've selected that line there and that line there. I'm going to scale it along the x-axis, which is the red, scale x, and make it about halfway. That's sort of about right. Sort of about right. Yeah, okay, now we got to deal with the height. Let's take a look at the diagram. Come here. 6, which is a bit more than that. No, it isn't. It's less than that. It's less than this width here, so it's got to come down. This surface here, go to surfaces, select that surface. It's got to come down to, said 6, so it'll be somewhere around about there. Scale, no, grab Z axis is the vertical, bring it down to about there. That looks as though it's about right. So that is your shape. Okay, we've got to draw that. Plan view, which one's plan? Plan view. That's the base, that's no good. Plan view, that's the short side, that's the 8, and that's the long side, 10. So we've got to produce those diagrams. This is exactly what it is. You see, 1, you've got that. 3, you've got that. Plan view, you've got that. Okay, so we have to produce that. Now I've had to move things around a bit to get it to fit the screen. So you're seeing all this lot, ignore that, that's not important. What we're looking at is this part here. So let's start off by doing the plan, shall we, which is there. Wait a minute, let me get that right. 7. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, so we have got, come on. You've got that shape there with a rectangle, then the whole thing forms a rectangle. So let's produce that. We can always add dimensions later. Plan view from above, as if you're a bird looking down. Okay, so let's do that, shall we? And does this work? Yes. Does that work? Yes. Okay, so we have our top. Let's come down here. Sort of guessing lengths. That's not quite straight. You'll have to forgive me. Well, let's see if I can make that a bit better, shall we? So we go from here to there, and I've got to fill in that bit. Then we had somewhere around about here like this, and it went from there to there, and there to there, then it went down there like that, and down there like that. Oh, that's badly placed, isn't it? Come on. Let's get that from there. It sort of looks right. Okay, so that's fine. That's looking... Come on. This view here. You see? That's the view we've got. So we need to reduce that. There we are. That's your plan. Label it. Plan view, so it's like a bird looking down. Now what we do is we project the lines down this way here. So we have, if I do dotted lines, you're not supposed to do that, right? We have our base, because now we're looking on the side view as if we're looking like that. Okay, here we go. So if we pull this up here, I don't know if this will work. Nope. Let's use the mouse. We're looking at that. No, that's the one. That's what we want. That's what we want. So that comes down there, and that one comes down there. So we have our base, and it goes up like that and across. You see that line there, that point is that line, that point there is that one there. See, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. See, it's that. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. That. Now we want a side view. That way, or from the other side. Right? There you go, look. So we're talking about that there. Minimize. So that is the end view. Whoops, meant to be a D. Project your lines across. That shows you where the top and the bottom is. We go like that. A little bit across. Then we have our slope. See? Then you can put your dimensions in. So let's do that. So you've got plan view, end view, side view. Right, so the dimensions are, whoop, where are we? And that's on the wrong screen. Bring it across. That's better, we can see it now. Our vertical height, 6 feet. Okay, so the vertical height there to there, 6 feet. I won't put feet, I'll just put the number 6 feet. Okay, so let's take another look, and we have that dimension there, 4 feet. That one there is 4 feet. Let's get rid of that. So this here is 4 feet. Now keep doing that. 4 feet. The other one at the top is 5 feet. Reduce that, come over here. So that one there (5 feet), 4 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet. We've done that. Now we've got to look at these dimensions here. We have, don't put these until you've finished, otherwise you may end up with something being in the way. Yeah, right. And that one was 8 feet. Right, so that is the end view. Get rid of that. This one here is the side view, and that was 10 feet. So you've got everything there. You've got 8 feet, that is 8 feet there, see? That bit there. It's 8 because that line is in fact this line, but when you're looking at the plan it looks as though it is this line here. Well, it's both, one's on top of the other. Right, so that's 8 feet. That one there is 10 feet, see? There you go. That one there is this one here, which is 4 feet. That one there is this one, which is 5 feet. If that's 5, that's 5. If that's 4, this bit is 4. The whole thing is 8. It's fairly straightforward once you can picture it. Oh, we've not done... Yes, we have. That is 10. That is 10. try and picture the shape three-dimensionally. Think about what you're actually doing. You know? That's your shape.